your affiliate parties.
Governor Ole Lenku is appealing to voters in Kajiado County to give him another mandate and also vote for Raila Odinga for president.
Hatuwezi rudi kwa mambo ya wilbaro. Hiyo ni madharau kwa watoto wetu, na ndio tunasema sio wilbaro, ni baba na Martha. Tunasema baba na Martha.
Lenku says the Cosmopolitan County stands to benefit if Azimio forms government. He called for political tolerance among locals and peace on election day and after.
Sasa tumesema Kajiado ndio county number 1 ya amani. Kajiado iko na amani sasa. Kajiado itakuwa na amani wakati wa uchaguzi. Na baada ya uchaguzi Kajiado itabaki county number 1 ya amani Kenya.
Elsewhere, the Embu gubernatorial race has intensified with just a week to the general elections. Former Senator Lenny Kivuti and nominated MP Cecily Mbarire are both traversing the county in last-ditch efforts to win political support.
Shida ile kubwa zaidi ni maji. Hata sio maji ya kunywa. Moja ilikuwa ya kila constituency. Kwa sababu nataka Embu County yote iwe na maji ya kulima.
Meanwhile, a section of elders from Kanyamkago village within Uriri sub-county in Migori have called for political tolerance ahead of the general elections.
As we have realized that other tribes within Kenya are behind the candidature of Raila Odinga as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya, we don't need to look sideways to support anything doing with bottom up.
Elsewhere, the Azimio la Umoja presidential campaign team in Kakamega has urged locals to vote for Raila Odinga.
Mimi naombea baba Raila Amolo Odinga kura tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 ambayo imefika, na kitu muhimu kwa hii tarehe 9, wengi wetu tunataka baba Raila Amolo Odinga awe president ya hii nchi, lakini lazima ile kura yetu itoke hiyo tarehe 9. Lazima tuende kwa polling station and we must vote.
County. Local leaders in the county, among them gubernatorial candidate Abdi Ibrahim Guyo, have urged residents to cooperate with government authorities to ensure these elements are mopped out, especially during this electioneering period.
While flagging off a peace walk in Isiolo town, Isiolo County Commissioner Geoffrey Muding urged residents to volunteer crucial information to the police if they come across suspicious activity.
Ukisikia report, hata kama ni rumor tu, nasikia watu nasema fulani report, ni tukuje hapo to verify. Kwa sababu ukikaa bila hiyo itakuwa shida. Kama unajua yule mtu alikuwa na bunduki, uja report, then unasikia huyo mtu ameua mtu fulani, milele utakuwa inakuhaunt ya kwamba mimi ndio nilihusika kwa mauaji ya huyo mtu.
He noted that the objective of the county security team was to have all the armed gangs arrested before the election date, arguing that the intentions remain unclear.
Nasema wasituletee yale mambo ambayo wamefanya katika kaunti zao, wasituletee watu wa Isiolo. Na tunafuata hawa. Tuko na intelligence tunawafuata. Hopefully tutawapata hawa, tutawashika na ndio wasitekeleze hiyo.
Omuding called upon members of the public to maintain peace during and after elections and commended youth and women groups that have come up with initiatives to preach peace.
Ni Cosmopolitan, iko na kabila mingi, na ile kitu inaua county ya Isiolo ni ukabila. Si hata wakati ya election peke yake. Unajua election itakuja na itakuja ingine, lakini bado tribalism ni mingi. Wameru wanasema hatutaki Wabarana, Wabarana wanasema hatutaki Wameru, Waturkana wanasema hivi, au wengine wanasema hivi. Sasa tunahitaji kushikana sisi zote kama kabila moja, tufanye Isiolo ikuwe county ya kabila moja.
Nairobi County Assembly Leader of Majority Abdi Ibrahim Guyo, who is eyeing the Isiolo governor's seat on a Jubilee party ticket, also called on his peers to desist from polarizing the county that has been peaceful for ages.
Tutahakikisha tumekaa chini na majirani yetu. Mimi nikiwa governor, tutatengeneza uhusiano mzuri katikati yetu na majirani. Tunaelewana? Hatutaki biashara ya vifua. Tutatengeneza uhusiano mzuri na Garissa County. Tutatengeneza uhusiano mzuri na Wajir County. Tutatengeneza uhusiano mzuri na Samburu County na Marsabit County. Ndio ili watu wetu waishi na amani. Tukapamoja jamani.
During a meeting with members of the Gara community last evening, Guyo warned that elections cannot be won through violence, urging members of the public to turn out on August 9th to cast their votes and leave security matters to the government authorities.
And still on security, the government has been lauded for the ongoing security operations in parts of Isiolo and Marsabit counties. Locals in Wajir West are, however, calling on the state to widen the scope of the operation in the region to stem away insecurity and theft of livestock.
Former Livestock Assistant Minister Mohamed Ahmed Halif says there is need to beef up security in Wajir, especially in areas plagued by perennial livestock theft and killings of innocent locals.
Tunaomba serikali kuu, sisi kama wakazi wa Wajir West na haswa wakazi wa hapa mahali naitwa Baragodhe, tunaomba mifugo hiyo irudishwe haraka iwezekanavyo. Ombi letu ni hiyo, na hao wezi wa mifugo wamekuwa hapa miaka mingi. Inaonekana kuna cartel ambaye ni wakazi kutoka upande ya Marsabit, kutoka hapa Isiolo, kutoka upande zingine, sehemu zingine, ambaye madhumuni yao ni kununua mifugo ile imeibiwa kutoka hapa kwa bei nafuu.
Kama watu wanaendelea kuuawa bila kujulikana ni sababu zake, bila mtu yote kuwekwa ndani ama kushikwa, inaonekana there should be something fishy. Therefore we are urging, tunauliza serikali, hasa the security team, hii mpaka ya Northern Kenya ama Wajir County na Eastern, ipate police post within the area, hasa upande ya Wajir County. Police post inatakiwa mahali kama hapa inaitwa Lolakuta na Baragodhe, ambaye kila wakati mahali hao wafugaji inaibwa.
Halif says it has been proven that with the political will and constant surveillance, insecurity can be dealt with.
Imekuwa ni biashara, ni cartels ambayo wanafanya kazi hiyo. Ninaomba serikali ya Kenya waweze kushika watu hao na waweze kutatua mambo haya haraka iwezekanavyo. Ninaomba waziri wa usalama ya ndani Dr. Fred Matiang'i na the entire Provincial Security Committee waweze kujadiliana mambo haya na waweze kupambana vikali na hii cartels ambaye kazi yao ni kununua mifugo yetu ambayo inachukuliwa na wezi wa mabavu, wezi wa kutumia mabavu wananunua kwa pesa rahisi, na imekuwa ni biashara ambayo sisi hatuelewi. Tunaomba serikali iweze kuintervene na waweze kutatua mambo haya.
Next week, locals will be voting in a new group of leaders who will be charged with the responsibility of linking the grassroots with the national government. They say that those who will be elected must fulfill their promises to the people to help turn around the region's fortunes.
In other news, the uptake of illicit brews and other outlawed substances in Makwa and Gatukuyu in Kiambu County has drastically reduced following the introduction of sporting events. Area youth say they no longer find time to engage in drinking, with sporting events taking up most of their time.
The introduction of sporting activities for the youth in Makwa and Gatukuyu villages of Gatundu North, Kiambu County has had a very positive impact in reduction of substance and alcohol abuse among young people in the area.
Vijana wengi Makwa, Gatukuyu na Chania in full ndio inajulikana na story ya pombe, sio walevi, na wangeshikiliwa vizuri na vinavyopasa kama vile mheshimiwa Jose ametushikilia, vijana anaweza enda mbali juu ako na talanta.
Speaking during a football tournament, Nganga Mushiri, a recovering addict, says besides helping eradicate abuse of drugs, the football matches have enabled them to focus on more productive aspects of their lives instead of being used by politicians to propagate violence in political campaigns.
Vijana wengi wangekuwa kwa pombe na wanatumia mihadarati, lakini juu mheshimiwa Jose ametuletea tournament yake, watu wengi wametoka huko na wamerudi kwenye mpira na hawana hiyo time ya kwenda kulewa, time yao mingi wanaitumia kwa field.
Watu wakikunywa na watumia hizo madawa, future yetu inakufia hapo. So we are happy for the tournament na iendelee tu hivyo hivyo.
Organizers led by Joseph Mwangi Kibu have called on government to support sports stakeholders by providing sporting equipment to keep the youth busy and away from drugs and illicit substances.
Inawashikilia pamoja sababu wakati tuko hapa kwa kiwanja hautawapata kwa mabaya na huko nje. Tunakuwa pamoja na wao na tunajua talenti zao na pia tunajua venye tunaweza tukasaidia ule mtu mwingine.
Readily available illicit brew, which is manufactured along the steep river Chania, has affected many young people and is making it hard for law enforcers to root out the menace that is also lowering productivity of youth in the region. Opicho Chemtai for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, education has taken center stage in the race for Teso North parliamentary seat, with front runners promising to revamp and improve the sector. Lawi Mamai, the DAP Kenya candidate, has blamed his main challenger and the incumbent Oku Kaunya for the poor performance registered in the recent past. In his defense, Kaunya says he has constructed the Kenya Medical Training College and Technical Training Institute through funding from the National Government Constituency Development Fund Kitty.
Tumerudi nyuma, ni kama tuko tena 2013 27. So we have lost 5 years kama watu wa Teso North. Na hiyo ndio Lawi anataka kubadilisha, ili watoto wetu wapate nafasi zaidi, wapate shule nzuri, tujenge madarasa mapya, tuongee na TSC na Ministry of Education, tuongeze walimu, shule zetu zipate tena kubobea, tukue number 1.
Tangu independence, eneo hii ya Teso Kaskazini hatukukuwa na taasisi yoyote ya kiserikali ambaye inafundisha ama inatumika kwa mafunzo. Na kwa mara ya kwanza tumekamilisha ile ya TTI ambayo nilipata ikiwa kwa Linto. Tumekamilisha hii KMTC kupitia hazina ya CDF peke yake na sasa inafanya kazi.
And still on education, the government has ordered for the immediate closure of all schools effective tomorrow. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha says the schools will remain closed until August the 10th to allow preparations and conduction of the August 9 general election. Magoha advised schools and parents to ensure learners from all basic education institutions proceed on their final term effective tomorrow and resume on Thursday, August the 11th, 2022. He said the latest communication supersedes any other communication earlier. For our first break is a story we will be keeping a keen eye on. But when we come back, we still have more news. I'll take you through some more news before we have a look at the business. We also have sports lined up, so don't go away.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
The Communications Authority of Kenya, CA, regulates the broadcasting industry, promoting development of local content and ensuring responsible use of broadcasting platforms for national good, to give you and your family choice with a variety of content to enjoy.
Lazima itakuwa ni mbaya.
Nataka ujue babangu, hii dunia haifanyii kila mtu sawa.
Tuseme ni relationship yenu, yani let's say it was not that friendly.
Jackie, nimpeleke wapi? Nimpeleke wapi?
Nimepata appointment rasmi na Mr. Dingo.
Ma! She just doesn't want to leave the house. She just wants to stay at home.
The Communications Authority of Kenya, opening your world.
Welcome back and thanks for keeping it KBC. Let's proceed. Residents of Ganze in Kilifi County now want the government to put up an electric fence around the Savo East National Park to stop elephants from wandering into their farms. The locals say the jumbos are destroying crops and endangering lives.
Ganze Member of Parliament Teddy Mwambire is appealing to the Kenya Wildlife Service to listen to locals and rid them of elephants who often stray away from the park and into their farms.
Hata kama kuna fidia inatolewa, tumeona kwamba ile fidia haiwezi kuwa sawia na ile mimea ambayo inaharibiwa ama ile bidhaa zetu ambazo zinaharibiwa na zile roho ambazo zinapotea kwa uteketevu wa wanyama wa pori ambao umekuwa ukizidi zaidi katika maeneo yetu.
The lawmaker says life is becoming unbearable for residents residing on the fringes of the Savo East National Park. Herders have also been accused of driving their livestock into the park, a problem that may have perhaps contributed to the invasion by the elephants.
Matumaini yangu kuanzia leo tutahakikisha kwamba hatupeleki mifugo kule kwenye msitu ili hawa ndovu waweze kufurushwa zaidi waregeshwe kule msituni. Kwa hivyo harakati tayari zimeanza. Ndani ya siku 3 na imani kuu kama tutaendelea kuwa na ushirikiano zaidi, hili swala la kusumbuliwa na ndovu litaweza kuondoka.
The leaders say the proposed electric fence will ensure learning goes uninterrupted.
Swala la kudumu ni kuhakikisha kwamba maeneo bunge ambayo yanazingira ile msitu, kaunti ambazo zinazingira ule msitu na serikali kuu waje pamoja. Tuone kwamba tunachangia, tunatoa pesa ambazo zitasaidia kuweka ua wa umeme ili uweze kuzuia ndovu wasitoke katika ule msitu kuja huku sehemu ambapo tuko.
Kama wale watatengwa, wale ndovu wanyama pori watatengwa na wananchi, then wananchi watakuwa nakaa vizuri na masomo yatakuwa yanaenda vizuri.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mugo.
Moving on, the Ministry of Industrialization has refurbished 480 Njue Worksite and Development Center in partnership with county governments and private sector nationally. Director General of Micro and Small Enterprises Authority Henry Rida says the Njue sector remains a pivotal and vital component of the economy which must be supported by all.
Hundreds of Njue artisans are set to benefit from modern equipment and improved technology thanks to a partnership between the government and the private sector.
Mimi nikitengeneza hii gari, nikiweka hii gari line, kuna mtu anapiga grease pale, kuna mtu anamoga oil pale, kuna mtu anaosha pale. Unaona sasa tukiwa wengi ndio sasa juu customer huyu amekuja anataka kufanyiwa hivi, huyu anataka kufanyiwa hivi. Juu sisi zote ni kazi tunafanya ya Njue tu watu wengi. Sasa alafu hii shade itatusaidia sana.
Speaking in Kamiridhu, Limuru, the Director General, Micro and Small Enterprises Authority, Henry Litha, said the initiative aims at improving the quality of production in the Njue sector.
The people who have been in formal sector are formalized and mainstreamed, not just in the production sector, but especially in the public procurement setup. For that to happen, the products quality must be improved. And for that to happen, we must have the right equipment, the right working environment, and impart the right technology and knowledge to these people.
National Federation of Juakali Association Chief Executive Officer Richard Muteti said the modern tools will impact the lives of all artisans in the Juakali sector. Muteti further urged artisans to register their businesses as required by law for easy access to government subsidies.
Tuna encourage watu wetu wa Juakali sector wa formalize, wa register, ili watu wale wanawapatia usaidizi waweze kujua record zao, waweze kuona vile wanafanya kazi, waweze kujua vile wanaweza kuwasaidia. Bila modern tools, market inasema vitu za Juakali si hazijatengenezwa vizuri, hazijafanywa finishing vizuri na kadhalika.
Irene Mchuma Odim, The Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, the government has faulted some retailers of inhibiting the supply of subsidized maize flour. Agriculture PS Francis Owino said the lengthy period some retailers are taking to pay millers for their deliveries has seen some millers opt to supply small-scale retailers, calling on the payment period to be reduced from 45 days to a maximum of 3 days to ensure millers have a working capital.
So our millers are not able to supply the supermarkets because of the 45 days contractual arrangement. Our plea and our appeal as government is for the two parties to reflect and consider that contractual agreement to align or conform with the commitments of government, or even to bring it lower from 45 days, say to 3 days or 5 days, because we are doing ours in 24 hours.
I must say that this thing actually rolled out last week, and that's why there was a lot of documentation, the KRA, the KEPS, the AFA, and the things were very slow. So as the PS has assured us that the payment is within 24 hours, 2 of our members were paid yesterday, I think today or on Friday. Millers will roll out. We are going to roll out, and there will be enough flour in the market next week. Tutakuwa na unga mingi mpaka hata wananchi watashangaa.
Built by the national government. Here is Terry Njenga with the details.
Speaking at Luanda Kotieno Fish Landing Site, Fisheries, Aquaculture and Blue Economy Principal Secretary Dr. Francis Owino said the facility will serve the Rarieda fishermen, while the Sori Landing Beach will serve the larger Nyatike region.
Going forward, we want to see the revamping of the industry in this region, given that the infrastructure is now available. Fishermen should not sell their fish at throwaway prices because the fish will perish. They have now the advantage of keeping their fish until they identify the correct market. And we have also shared with them that as a State Department, we are also exploiting opportunities to get markets outside of Kenya.
The fish landing site that each were constructed at a cost of 140 million shillings have cold storage facilities enabling fishermen to store their catch as they source for markets. The facilities are expected to address the issues of unscrupulous businessmen who take advantage of the perishability of their catch to buy the fish at a throwaway price.
With the assistance of the BMU, the fisher folk are able to determine proper prices for their fish because they're able to store it, as Dr. Wina had said, for even up to 5 years if the price is not right. We are going to significantly improve the lives and therefore the health and therefore the lifespan of people around here.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Terry Njenga.
Moving on, Kenyan professional bodies have been challenged to tap into the emerging regional opportunities after the admission of the Democratic Republic of Congo into the East African Community Trading Bloc. The Institute of Certified Secretaries, ICS chairperson Diana Tanui said there are new opportunities availed by the DRC and other EAC member states that professional bodies could tap in for strategic growth.
The Institute of Certified Secretaries plays the strategic role of enhancing socio-economic transformation by supporting best practices and good corporate governance, especially on boards of companies. The Institute of Certified Secretaries is keen on promoting good corporate governance practices to stimulate competition, innovation, and sustainability of institutions. Speaking during ICS 27th Annual Dinner and Award Ceremony in Nairobi, Chairperson Diana Tanui challenged professional bodies to take advantage of the opportunities within the East African community to offer, among others, training.
We, as an institute, have continued to promote good governance through strategic collaborations. We have entered into many memoranda of association with specific stakeholders, specifically on areas of research for purposes of expanding the training opportunities for members.
Certified secretaries contribute significantly to the overall economic development and stability and growth of a nation.
Speaker said there are emerging opportunities availed by the Democratic Republic of Congo joining the EAC, as well as liberalization of Ethiopian economy.
As potential investors rely on the business information generated by public certified secretaries to make decisions on whether or not to invest in a particular venture.
As an institute, we also continue to endeavor to ensure we help members to build capacity by bringing most relevant topics and most relevant areas of concern so that then we remain relevant in the market and that we give value to the employers that we serve and the clients that we serve.
Locally, the Institute of Certified Secretaries is working closely with public agencies, private sector and county governments to share expertise in devolved units through conventions and meeting in efforts to enhance good governance. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
In other news, underwriting losses in the general insurance business narrowed to 510 million shillings in the first 3 months of this year, down from a loss of 1.74 billion shillings reported during the first 3 months of 2021. Latest data from the Insurance Regulatory Authority indicates that the motor, private and commercial and medical classes of insurance business reported losses of about 1.67 billion shillings during the same period in the year 2021.
The latest data from Insurance Regulatory Authority indicates that motor, private and medical classes of general insurance business incurred the highest losses amounting to 1.04 billion shillings and 628.58 million shillings respectively. This saw the underwriting losses in the general insurance business narrowed to 510 million shillings during the first 3 months of this year, which is more than 3 times lower than the loss of 1.74 billion shillings reported during a similar period last year. However, the losses were offset by the personal accident class of business that posted a profit of 712.27 million shillings. The insurance industry gross written premiums rose 11% to 888.43 billion shillings, while premiums under general insurance amounted to 53.92 billion shillings. Of this, medical and motor insurance class contributed 35.9% and 27.5% respectively, while aviation, theft and miscellaneous classes premiums decreased by 16.1%, 11% and 10.6% respectively. During the period, claims incurred rose 10% to 18.43 billion shillings. The highest claims were for medical services at 42%, followed by motor private at 25.5% and motor commercial at 24%. The claims paid rose 13.3% to 16.8 billion shillings. The reinsurer's business volume increased by 32.2% to 10.57 billion shillings, leading to an underwriting profit of 517.18 million shillings compared to a loss of 990.23 million shillings during a similar period a year ago. Caroline Jenga for Lunchtime News.
A year after the death of Kanjokoma brothers, the family is yet to come to terms with the deaths of their son Emmanuel Mutura and Benson Njue met their death on 1st of August at the Kianjakoma Trading Center in Embu County while heading home. The father has lamented long wait for justice and called on relevant authorities to speed up the process.
The two had been arrested for allegedly flouting the 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew when they were later discovered dead on the 3rd of August at Embu Level 5 Hospital mortuary after a 2-day search. Post-mortem examination will later reveal that the two had sustained severe injuries on their ribs and head that led to the cracked skulls. 6 police officers were arrested in connection to the murder and later released on bond. It's exactly a year after the incident happened, leaving the family in agony that has been worsened by the prolonged quest for justice. Back at his home in Embu, their father Nduinga Kamunyoti is still holding on to the hope that justice will prevail.
We have not come to terms with it until that time when justice will be delivered. Na ukweli ni kuwa hata kama walifanya hii majanga watachukuliwa hatua. Kweli ni kuwa vijana wangu hatarudia hii. So sioni, tutajikaza tu, lakini pando mambo ni ngumu.
With 3 witnesses having so far testified in the case, Peter Kiama, the director of Independent Medical Legal Unit IMLU, acknowledges the case has had challenges but maintains that they won't relent in ensuring the family finally gets justice.
Kuna tumaini kwamba haki itapatikana. Kwa hivyo tumejiunga na wao kuhimizana kwamba tuendelee kufuatilia haki. Manake haki na ukweli ndio ambayo inaongoza sisi katika taifa letu.
Trevor Ngendo, Lunchtime.
All right, let's now focus on matters sports, and first things first, we head to Birmingham, UK, where there was a tantalizing final match in the Sevens rugby. Let's get that report.
Sean Williams goes quickly, the little man, still going, gets through the tackle. Incredibly, it was Gunu who couldn't stop him.
South Africa stunned Fiji 31-7 to win the men's rugby sevens Commonwealth Gold at Coventry Stadium. First half tries from Mulla du Plessis, JC Pretorius and Sean Williams saw South Africa surge into a 17-0 lead.
And JC Pretorius again, he nicks it and he gives it to Williams. Zane Davids, Selwyn Davids.
Du Plessis added a second after the break, and Mfundo Ndolvu wrapped up a comfortable victory after Fiji captain Waisea Nkudu had managed a consolation effort. The Blitzbooks made a great start and scored 3 well-worked tries in the opening half while keeping the danger